welcome back to another edition of Haas Talks. And on the show with me, I am beyond excited for this one. It's been a long time coming. Vince Rosa, VNH Fresh. My man, thanks for coming into Haas Talks and chatting with me.
Man, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Vince, you've been around the Oklahoma area. We were talking before the show for about 3 years now, and it really seems like just yesterday you guys kind of rolled into town, and really ever since you rolled into town, you've made a big statement. You've been a big supporter of racing for a long time. Let's just break it down to how did it all get started, your passion for racing and everything else back in California?
Well, me and my wife both come from a racing background. So we kind of wanted to get out and, kind of see around what was going on around California, kind of missed the racing side of it. So we found a track in Stockton. It was Delta Speedway. I'd never been there. And when we showed up, we thought maybe it was going to be like cars or whatever. And what it turned out being was micros. And I'd never seen one before. So I see 120 micros, there's just like a sea of them. And I just fell in love. I mean, I was like, man, I went and watched the racing. It was exciting. So we went for about a year before we decided that we wanted to get involved. And I just looked over at my wife and said, I want to do this somehow. And she said, you can do anything you want, but you're not ever going to drive. I said, I get that. The company is too important, and it's dangerous. So I said, fine. So we started going, and within I picked up 1 or 2 drivers, and then within 2 years, I had 12 cars.
Wow.
It was huge. It was almost unmanageable, but I had the best time of my life.
So VNH, what is this? What is VNH Fresh for those folks that don't know?
Right. VNH Fresh, we are an importer of broccoli and strawberries from Mexico into McAllen, Texas, and we distribute out all around the country. Primarily, we have a 4-month strawberry window, and we have a full year-round, about maybe 500,000 cases of broccoli.
Whoa!
And about 150,000 strawberries.
So are you a big fan of broccoli? Do you eat lots of broccoli? Or
I worked for a company before I went off my own, and we wanted to do one thing and do it right. So I kind of got kicked into the broccoli thing, and I had to go out and market and find growers and find people that we could kind of support and that could support us. And when I went on my own, I just kind of took all that with me, and it just exploded.
That's crazy. Now, the slogan for VNH Fresh is there's no substitute for quality, right?
Right.
And whenever you say that, that's something that I feel like you bring into your racing program as well. You've been involved with a lot of different race cars. First off, you're in California. You're doing the whole thing at Delta. You're probably going to Plaza Park a little bit, kind of doing some things. And you not only have a team of drivers, but you help other drivers along the way here and there, and you support others. Give me the first scenario, the first instance that you came to Tulsa for the Tulsa Shootout.
I had that one driver that I first brought on, that I kind of partnered up with, and he was telling me about this Tulsa Shootout. Never heard of it.
And who was that driver?
That was John Bourdnave. He's out of French Camp, California. So I said, well, let's go. I'm already in. I'm already addicted.
Yeah.
So I said, let's go, man. Let's pack up the car and go. And we did. And that was in 2013, I think.
So you roll into Tulsa. There's this huge building, some big golden-looking dude out front.
I knew nothing about it. I didn't have any idea about how big it was going to be. And I was like godsmacked when I saw it. It was just incredible. And that's when I knew. I said, man, I've got to get into this deeper.
So you start going to that. You kind of get deeper involved into micro racing. When was it that you kind of started to think about moving to Oklahoma? Because, that's a pretty big deal. You have a family. You have kids. You got the whole nine going. You got some cats. You got,
That's the whole thing, man.
So you got the whole kit and caboodle. What was it that was like, you know what, I think that Oklahoma may be a spot for us?
Running a business, a multi-million-dollar business in California is very complicated and very difficult. So I got to the point that we were like, we got to do something. And we sat down, we talked, and we were going back and forth to the shootout for years by now. And I just talked to my wife and said, we got to make a move. We got to get out of here. It's killing me here. Mm-hmm. And she was like, Oklahoma. So I put her on a plane. I flew her to Tulsa. We had a realtor waiting on her. Took her around to like 12 houses. She picked the one that we moved into, and we've been happy in here ever since.
So moving to Oklahoma, there comes some change with that because the drivers that you have back in California don't necessarily load up and come with you, right?
No, I had to start all over again.
So you're still supporting, in some form or fashion, VNH Fresh is still supporting several drivers out that way.
Mm-hmm.
You come to Oklahoma and you meet a guy by the name of Daniel Shaffer.
Right.
And so you and Daniel kind of team up, and it seems like within, golly, I don't even know how long you were here, but it seems like within the drop of a thumb snap, here's VNH Fresh on a 00 car, and the car's like good.
Mm-hmm.
Like really good equipment and really good just performance-wise. How did that friendship, that bond, how did you meet Daniel? How did that all come about?
Well, when I moved here, my cars stayed in California because the guys that I had that were committed to them needed to finish out the year. I couldn't just take them from them.
Right.
So when the year was over, I went and got the cars, brought them here, and now I've got 3 micros and I've got no drivers. So somebody dropped Daniel's name to me, said he's a good guy, look him up, and I did. And we got together and met and talked about, the goals and the direction, and he just fit right in.
So for you, what people don't realize is that you take this operation seriously. Like it's not something, oh man, let's go, we're gonna go have fun. We're going to have fun no matter what we do.
That's it.
We're going to eat steaks. We're going to have cocktails. We're going to have a good time. We're going to bond as friends and become family, become brothers in this deal. But it's also a deal where we're going to go perform.
Right.
We're going to go be a contender to win these races. I don't care where we're going. So for you, whenever you say you have this talk and you have the goals, right? You have things that you want to succeed at, and you want to have different goals that you want to meet year after year, and I'm sure that they change frequently, just as with a business or anything does. So how do you go about judging that system, right? Like, is it a deal where you have the equipment to win, that you have to win, or is it a deal where we need to consistently be up front?
I have the equipment to win, but what I didn't have at the time was the people to help me make us win. So that was a lot of trial and error. There's a lot of people that are not used to being on a team with a team, atmosphere. They've been doing it by themselves. So when you tell them what we're going to do, and they're like, well, I'm not sure if I want to do that, or, nah, it's not really my gig. I don't want to really race that place. So it's kind of like if you come onto the family, I pay for everything, but you're going to have to go where we want to go.
Yeah.
And me and Daniel kind of put the list together where we wanted to race and what we wanted to accomplish. And we went through a couple of drivers and made some changes. But in the end, at the end of the year, we still have a lot of success, a lot of fun. Because if I'm not having fun, I'm not spending this kind of money.
Right.
I'm just not going to do it. So I make sure I have people that are surrounding me that are, family oriented, because I care about my team. You don't mess with my team. I'm like a big Papa Bear when it comes to that. And I've just been really, even the people that didn't work out, we're still friends and we're still, communicating, still sponsoring some of them,
You say that, you say trial and error, because whenever you did very first come here, if I remember right, you gave different drivers shots. It was almost like an audition process, right? Hey, come run our car. One of the cars has Mary's number on it. That's really specific to Mary's background, and like Mary is a real integral part in the team as far as, I don't know what to call her, like the team cheer mom or almost something, right? Like she is so just gung-ho and all about the team and supporting. It doesn't matter what driver it is. They're all getting the pirate flag. It's all going on, right?
Right. She is my partner. She's the one I go to. She is, my better half, and everything that we do together. We discuss together, and I couldn't imagine doing it without her. So it's been a great partnership. But we talk about everything, and the people that come in, she'll tell me, I don't think that's the guy. You know? So and then we'll give them a shot, and we'll say thank you, and you shake hands and try somebody new, because you just never know.
Something else interesting that you said that I want to go back and touch on is that, like, you're the Papa Bear. Like, you don't mess with my team. This is my team. I have their back. And just like we were kind of talking before, it doesn't. There may be times that somebody on the team may be doing something. I don't want to, for lack of a better term, something stupid.
Right.
Something that needs to be addressed. But whether or not if it's somebody else coming to address it, you kind of wall them up because you have your guys back.
Right.
You always have your guys back. Although behind the closed doors, it may be a talk where you're like, bro, come on. Let's think about this a little bit more, and let's realize the whole unity here, that we're one team, one goal, and we're all in this deal together.
Sometimes if you have someone that does something stupid or does something unacceptable, then we take them in the trail and we deal with it. Whether it's you don't drive for a month, or it's not going to work out, you need to go, or you try to support them and help them get through it so they don't do it again. You try to, every situation is different, so you try to do the right thing by the person, but by the team more so. It's important. You
take this deal very, very serious. And whenever I say that, it's because of this. You have a micro sprint operation prior to what has taken place over 2022 that you run like a full-on professional racing team. You have matching shirts. Everybody knows their job title. Everybody knows their place. And whenever I say job title, you hire people to take care of the race team. That's their job. Right. That's how serious you are invested in VNH Fresh, the race team.
If you want to have a team of this quality and a team of this size, then you have to have someone that's going to run it. And you can't have them working full time and then getting off work at 5:30 and then working in the shop till 11. You can't. You're going to kill them. So you try to you approach the right person, and you say, look, here's what I can offer you. You want to do it full time, and it's worked out. I had Daniel for 3 years, and I have Bradley Fazard, who works for the team full time, and he runs the whole program. He's in charge of it, and he's doing a great job.
So this year's been kind of different for VNH Fresh. You guys have kind of taken a leap into some sprint car racing. Right. Not leaving the roots of micro racing by any means, because you guys are here taking part in this weekend. You're going to Seabell Mania down in Texas. You still support the Terry Sprague Memorial up at Southern Illinois, so you're still heavily involved in the micro sprint world. However, what's the change and what caused that to kind of click and want to do the sprint car stuff, wing and non-wing?
Well, I love the micro thing, and that's never going to go away. We're always going to have it. It's our roots. It's where we started, and I don't want to get out of it. But the sprint car is also very exciting, and it's a place that I ultimately wanted to build up to, and I've been able to do it over the last year in a pretty big way, and we've been very blessed, and it's been pretty successful. But we don't have to give up one to have the other. We're kind of in a place where we can do them both, support both, and have a really good time.
What's been the biggest change as far as just the overall atmosphere? Because it is two totally different worlds. I've been heavily involved in micro sprint racing. I've been heavily involved in sprint car racing. It is two different worlds where one seems like you're on the edge of your seat more often. The other one's kind of a little bit more laid back. Have you noticed that and kind of seen that in some of your travels?
I think the sprint car thing is more laid back, but it's only our first year. So we're still learning. We're still making mistakes, but we have some really good support team. We have a really good people that we can go to that will help us out and help pushing us in the right direction, keep us straight. And with that, we've been lucky, and we've been successful. We're having a good time.
I got to witness you guys run the Ironman there at Creek County Speedway. Man, I was thoroughly impressed with Bradley Fazard. I've known Bradley for quite a while and been able to watch him race, but being able to see somebody progress from one class of car to another is pretty rewarding for you. Absolutely. As a car owner. What is that like whenever you see a guy that goes from one class to another and he has success and he's doing well? What kind of feeling does that give you as a car owner?
Well, Bradley comes from a micro background. He was the Power Eye champion in the Winged Outlaw. He won the Now 600 also the same year, I think, or the year before. So he comes with a lot of. He's very precise, very accurate, he's very talented, but he's also very patient. So when he made the move to the sprint car, it was so natural for him that I was in awe. I mean, I think he won his first main event at Creek County. It went from 12th to 1st in 4 races. So he was already winning races on his 4th time in the car.
Right.
So with that kind of talent, I mean, it was self-explanatory. And he's really dives in. He's so meticulous with the cars, micro and sprint cars, that I'm just having a blast with the guy. He's fantastic.
Not like we say you have your team and you have your drivers that race for VNH Fresh specifically. But outside of that, you help a ton of people. You're a supporter of so many people. You're a supporter of this freaking show, and you don't ask for anything in return. I'm like, man, let me do this, let me do that. And you're like, no, I want to help you to help you. You help so many drivers here at Port City Raceway, whether it be Kaylee Mahaffey or Caleb Johannesson. Kel McGee, you helped him for quite a while. I know he's playing football and all that good stuff, but you're heavily involved in racing in general. Even if there was no VNH Fresh racing, there's still a VNH presence in racing. Why?
That's a good question. Honestly, I've been watching these people, and I like these people. And when I get to know them and they need help, I want to help them. I have been very blessed financially to help people that need help, that are good people, that represent the sport well. I won't put my name on something that's dirty or not in the right direction. And these people that I help are people that I've watched, and I see them struggle, and I want to take a little bit off them. I mean, I don't give them a ton of money, but what I give them is what they need so they can continue to get out there and race and have a good time. And they're very dear friends of ours, and they're part of the family.
You got to load up Kaylee Mahaffey and take her to California.
Yeah, what a blast that was. She did so well.
Such an amazing, for me, being able to we stay back home, but we watch it online,
Right.
and we get to see that success and be able to see Kaylee Mahaffey go perform against those kids out on the West Coast was something for all of us. Was like, what a representation of what our racing is all about, right?
She really made a statement there. And it was important for me to take my team from here to go back to my roots in California and run with those guys and party with those guys and just have a good time. And Kaylee, she kind of got roped in at the last minute, so she was not really prepared. We had to get her prepared and get all her stuff into the trailer. But when she hit the ground running, man, she was fantastic.
Absolutely phenomenal.
She did really well. I'm so proud of her.
I can't wait for her to get the all clear to come back to racing, because I absolutely miss the little pistol without a doubt.
Yeah, we need her.
Vince, there's oftentimes people come up with these perceptions and these ideas and these thoughts of somebody because they don't know the full story. Like, they don't know the work and the time and the effort that you have put into not only your race team but to your business. How do you find balance to go from racing and business and just in general life, trying those wacky ass chips and dips that Mary brings home and being in her TikToks and everything else? How do you find the balance? How does a guy find balance in all that?
You know, I like I said, I'm so blessed that when I can have two things that I love, they mesh together. They just work. I love the racing more than anything. I love my company, and I love what I do more than anything. And when you have that kind of passion for them both, they just flow together, and it's a piece of cake.
As a car owner, as a longtime supporter of racing, you see people come and go.
All right.
You see new people coming into the sport. You see them progress on into sprint cars and the midgets and different things. You see some people come into micro racing and they get heavily involved for a few years, and then it's almost like they maybe get burnout or they run out of just the love for the sport. What kind of in closing here, like I want people to hear from somebody that's been doing it a long, long time, that's been involved in it, that's growing the sport, that's growing within the sport, some words of wisdom, some words of advice, and anything that maybe you feel like needs to be cleared up. Like if we haven't touched on something, because I feel like this could be probably a 4-hour segment if we really wanted to dive deep into things, but I try and keep it within the 25-minute range just for viewership. But like, what kind of advice, what kind of error would you like to clean up that may be out there?
You know, you have to love the sport, and I love the sport more than anything. So I'm dedicated to it. We try to perform on and off the track. We try to, we try to be good people. I want to be a good person. I want to help those that need help. And if you love this sport, stick with it, man. I mean, I never get tired of it. It's always something new. It's always growing in my heart. And I'm sure if you're as dedicated as I am and as my team is, you'll see it. You'll feel it. And you'll never want to get out. I never want to get out.
Me either. Never want to get out.
No, sir.
You got to have a passion for it. Grow within the sport, and let the sport teach you some things about life. This has been Vince Rosa here on Haas Talks.
Introducing the Performance Electronics Wideband O2 sensor with Bluetooth. With just 3 wires, installation couldn't be easier. Quickly connect your smartphone to our simple app to monitor your engine's air-fuel ratio in real time without gauges. The PE Wideband O2 sensor is just one of many Performance Electronics products that can add brains and brawn to your next high-performance project. Find them all at pe-ltd.com.